It's another interesting episode of Career and Training right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, Go TV channel 17. And of course, on socials, we are at Afia TV Official. I am particularly excited about today's show. Well, we always bring you interesting stuff all the way from Enugu, Nigeria, the coal city, Ebano. I am Ifeoma Ajimobi, Ife Melody, your host. Stay with us. Tourism is the word that is making the world tick right now. And of course, we can't do without it. You talk about people traveling, visiting different places, moving around. I think it makes the world go round and happen. Today, we will be looking at building a career, being a professional tour guide. And to take us through, this particular journey is no other person but Emmanuel Odama. I am excited to have him on the show today. We call him Tourbuddy. What an interesting name. He's a tour guide and a tourism professional. It's great to have him on the show. Hi, Emma. How are you doing? I'm going to call you Tourbuddy all through the show.
That's fine. That's okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Very well, as you can see.
Great to have you here.
It's good to be here too.
Welcome.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to Career and Training. I think I'm
pleasure.
particularly excited because maybe if I weren't doing media, I would have been doing what you're doing right now.
I remember.
It's one of the very interesting professions. Like you keep seeing people traveling,
Yeah.
meeting people, going around. Very interesting. Anyway, we're going to find out how it all started. And you're doing quite well to some good extent right
Thank
now.
you.
Congratulations on that. From the city of Enugu to the world. We want to find out how you're doing that, especially for others who might want to tour your path. So, just before we start, we would take our career tip. Let's have our career tip now. Our career tip says, seek out and welcome feedback. Seek out and welcome feedback. Does that connect with you in any way? Seek out and welcome feedback.
Of course. For someone who does what I do, I prioritize feedback a lot, right? So I'm always on the lookout for what people have to say after we've done stuff.
Okay.
Right? So I like to get feedback a lot and then see how to improve on the feedback I've received. So it's very important for any
You
career
surely need feedback because, yours is about making people feel happy, feel good.
Yeah.
You're taking them to places they've never been before, as a tour guide, and you need to know that they enjoy it. If they didn't enjoy, of course, they won't recommend you or come back for more. So feedback is quite key, right?
True.
Both the ones that don't sound too good and
right. And sometimes the feedback you actually need are not even the ones they voice. Even their body language while on the trip says a lot. If they're enjoying it, you're going to know. They won't form it. If they're not enjoying it, you're going to know. So from the onstart, you're going to know if they're enjoying the trip or not.
So you as much as watch body language. And all
Of
that.
course.
Because
people can sugarcoat it
that's
to
the
make you
key
feel good.
to being good at this business, right? Because that's what we want to learn, and you're really giving me insights. That's cool. That's cool. So how did it all start? How did it start? From studying, what do you call it?
Surveying and geoinformatics.
Geoinformatics and surveying. Now you're tour buddy and you're traveling everywhere. Okay, from of course touring every part of Enugu, the Zago waterfalls, or home is
it's one of your spots.
Then next thing you're in Obudu, next thing you're in Kaduna, right? Is it Kaduna?
Yeah.
And then Jigawa.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear.
Okay, so for me, I think I discovered the passion for tourism a little bit before I got into school.
Okay.
By the way, many people didn't know that while I was doing Tourbuddy, hugely I was in school. Many people didn't know that part.
Okay.
Right, so I discovered my passion for tourism before I got into school. I spent a long time before I got into school. I wrote JAM 4 times before I got into school. So while doing that, I tried a lot of stuff. I used to do a lot of stuff. I was very handy. I used to make clothes, take pictures, do videos, do graphic design, do painting, interior decoration and stuff. I did a number of stuff. But then there was one thing that stood out. I also drew, so I loved to draw. I could stay all day drawing, right? But then one thing stood out. I always like to go out. So when I go out, people always ask me, "Oh, where did you go to? Can you take us there?" So I'm always the guy people always come to ask, "Oh, where can we go to? Where did you go to? We like where you took these people to. Can you take us there?" And then I'm always out taking people out. So by 2018, I was already in school by then, and then I started off with joining Hikers Trail. It's a tourism community in Enugu. So I joined Hikers Trail, started hiking with them. Soon enough, I was in the team, in the management team, doing stuff, making things happen there. So it was from there that I started climbing into the stairs of this tourism thing. Yeah. Then it used to be local tours in Enugu and stuff. Then in 2021, I started Tourbuddy, and then here we are.
2021 to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tourbuddy seems to be what's on everybody's lips right now when you talk about going for tours. Okay, so let me take it back a bit. Why did you study the course you did, and what school did you do that?
Okay, so for the course I did, I studied geoinformatics and surveying in University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. I didn't want to study geoinformatics and surveying, funny enough. I wanted to study arts, fine arts. But my mom refused. My mom was like, "Why would you study fine arts?" Because I used to draw. All my books were filled with drawings. My mom didn't like that. So she was like, "You could always learn drawing or arts anywhere, in any shop. Why do you have to go to school to learn it?" So even after I left school in 2014, I went to an art shop to learn it, actually, and learn every other stuff. Nana Arts in College Road then. But then I tried to do architecture. She suggested architecture. Okay, try architecture. Architecture is good. It's related to what you're doing, and you like to draw as well, so maybe it can connect. So I tried architecture first year, second year, third year, I didn't get it. But by the fourth time I was writing jam, I said, "You know what? I'm done with this architecture. I think I would have to try another course." Someone suggested surveying. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good course. I went to check it out. They said you can work anywhere. I said, fine, because I don't want to be confined in a space. I want to be able to work just anywhere. And then I wrote JAM for surveying and then added University of Nigeria, and then I got it. Then I got in there, didn't know what I was going to do, but then I got there and then I started doing it. Then I found out that it's somehow related to geography, it's very related to geography, and then I liked geography, or maybe it would help me explore more, maybe, I didn't know. I just started doing it, but then I was already doing tourism, so.
All right, I asked because I realized you discovered yourself early enough, so why didn't you go into something, more connected to you? Now I get it. Your mom kind of, tried to divert you a bit, but you still found your way back.
I think
How does she see what you're doing now?
Oh well. She's I don't know, because I'm like the black sheep of the family. I'm the one who goes everywhere. Everybody's calm, everybody's cool in the house. I'm the one who, anytime you call me, you're like, please, in which part of the world are you at right now? Because you can't say this is where I am, right? So she's fine. All she does is, because she can't control what is happening right now anymore. Because back then I was under her roof, she could control it, do this one, don't do this one. And then I had a number of skills, so it was hard to even narrow down on one. She used to call me and my auntie Jack of all trades, master of none, because I could do almost everything. So now she's fine with it, I guess.
Okay, and it seems you're mastering one now very well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how has it been doing this from Enugu? And I'm talking about being a tour guide, tourism professional, taking people on tours. How has it been? And tell us exactly your experience in this process.
Okay, so let me track back a little bit and talk about what even prompted me to get into this tourism in particular. I'm not sure I said that, I missed it. So I tried to leave Enugu by all means.
You did?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You wanted to leave
I wanted to leave
Enugu
by all means before I got into school. Because my uncles used to troll us.
Okay.
We were all born in Enugu.
Okay.
Primary school. Okay. Secondary school, university, you are going to marry an Igbo woman, you're going to stay in Enugu. Why do you want to spend all your life in Enugu? So I didn't want that anymore. So I tried to leave Enugu. I didn't want to go to UNN. My mom used to work in UNN. So I used to enter the campus, like I practically knew all the hostels, and it was annoying. So why do I want to go there? So I tried to leave Enugu. I tried to write JAM in Mina to just find anywhere to just leave Enugu, but it wasn't working. Then when I finally got admission into Enugu, into University of Nigeria, I was like, okay, if Enugu doesn't want me to leave, then it means there's something Enugu has for me, and I am going to get to the ends of Enugu to find it. It means everybody in Enugu has to know me, because Enugu doesn't want me to leave Enugu, yeah? So I am going to find the solution that Enugu is looking for. So that was, for me, the motivation, because I wanted to leave. You didn't want me to leave, so it means there's something here for me here. That was a clue. I said, okay, I'm going to harness it. Then I started digging further. So for me, I think what has kept me in this tourism space and promoting Enugu, how it's been so far, it's not been the easiest, because I remember when I started Tourbuddy, the first trip I did in June 2021, there were just 3 people on that trip.
3?
3.
Was it paid
with myself? Trip? Yes, it was a paid trip. It was 500 naira.
Okay.
It was a hike.
Okay.
Ikirike Hill. You know Ikirike Hill?
Yeah.
It was one of my friends and his girlfriend then, and then one of my classmates that was my friend. The 3 of them. So 1.5. And the 1.5 was spent on transport to do the trip. I went home. I was almost depressed because I thought I was popular. I mean, I was in one of the most popular hiking teams in Enugu. Then I'm doing a trip, 500 naira. Why can't people pay 500 naira to attend a trip? So it was almost discouraging. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to dust myself and continue. I said, okay, you know, maybe it's time to do an out of Enugu trip. And now travel to Ibadan. I didn't know anyone in Ibadan. I just told my family, I'm going to Ibadan. Who do you know? I don't know anybody. I'm just going there to find a way. Then I traveled to Ibadan. They were more worried about me than I was. So I traveled to Ibadan, got there around 11 p.m., started to find my way. All right. So after I packaged the trip, I think the trip was like 30K, maybe 60K to do Ibadan. Nobody bought the trip. In fact, okay, one person bought it. The girl that bought it was in Lagos. There was no way I would do a trip for people coming from the east, and then only one person from Lagos pays for the trip. I refunded her. I told her we postponed the trip or we couldn't do the trip. I said, you know what? Calm down. You can do this. You've been doing it. Then I did again. Right? So for me, one thing I've discovered about promoting tourism in Enugu is it was hard. Right? Maybe it's still hard, but it is possible to do. I discovered that people in this part of the country don't value tourism, don't appreciate tourism, don't value nature as much, right? So maybe it's still something we're going to discuss, but generally I think it's a booming industry.
Is it that they don't value it, or they rather do it elsewhere than do it within Enugu? What do you think? What do you have to say
local
about
tourism?
That? Okay,
they don't
local
value local tourism.
They don't
yes.
value local
Even
tourism.
going to places in other parts of Nigeria at the time, maybe now there is more awareness because I mean Naira is devaluing a lot more. So people are now learning to use the small one they have to explore where they can explore and have fun. But other than that, many people in this part of the world value to use that money and go to the bar or club and drink and eat some kwabi and go back home.
I'd rather pay really high for somewhere outside Nigeria.
Exactly. If at all they are going to do that. Yes. I discovered that Igbos don't like to do vacation in a lot. They rather build house with that money. Go and buy a land somewhere. Okay. They'll tell you this money, if you do this one, you get, instead of going to travel for what. So yeah, that's a challenge for doing what we do around this part of the world. But in other climes, like in Lagos, in the west, in the north, it is booming. It's a booming industry.
You know, I told you I had interest in this. I once put up a package for a tour to Oguta, and I was promoting it and, of course, publicizing it. And one of my close friends said, why not do Dubai? Why not take people to Dubai rather than Oguta?
People will buy Dubai.
Yes, they're willing. And she could pay. And she's apparently been there. She could pay. But I'm like, why won't you appreciate what you have home right here before you? That was beautiful. Like a guy had invested a whole lot in building a resort there that is really beautiful. Actually, I've taken a lot of people there.
I've gone there too.
Yes. Oh, you've seen it. So you know what I'm talking about. Very beautiful place. And not even one-time visit. You can't do that. You rather travel all the way. And, you know, somebody like, I think, one comedian like that, one very good comedian, I'm forgetting his name. He said something about you pay to go and see sand and play in the desert and all of that. When nature, the same beautiful nature is all around you here. So I understand it when you say it's challenging. It can be quite challenging. But having seen you grow, it seems you've been able to overcome the challenges to a good extent now. So tell us about where you are now, where you've taken people to, and your very exceptional trips and moments.
Okay, so where I am now and where I've taken people to and exceptional trips and moments, I think I'll start with where I've taken people to. I've taken people to many places in and out of Nigeria, right? To a lot of the destinations in Enugu, from Ohom, Ezago Waterfall, Oji Alom, you name it, Batu Hill. Then there's one in Nsude. There are a number of fantastic destinations: Milliken Hill, Pine Forest, Ikirike Hill, Apuke Sand Beach. Then leaving Enugu, we've gone to Ebonyi State, the beach in Ebonyi State. We've gone to Obudu, of course. We've gone to the Jew Ranch in Boki local government in Cross River State. It's a fantastic destination that you should visit. I'm sure you're gonna love it. Then I've taken people to Suleja Dam. That was the trip we did last July. It was in July. We did it. Got people from Abuja to go to Suleja Dam. It was fantastic. It was an exceptional trip.
I saw that pictures. Is that dam functioning?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because you were able to play in the water and all of that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic destination.
Wow, the Suleja Dam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did that tour from Enugu here?
Yeah, I did the tour from Enugu here. Then I was going to Abuja. So I went to Lagos. From Lagos, I went to Kwara. From Kwara, I went to Abuja. So while in Abuja, I did that trip in Abuja. Then from Abuja, I went to Kaduna. I went to Kano, Jigawa, and then I came back to Abuja, then to Enugu, then Cross River. So for me, my life is practically about showing people places. Anytime I get a call, I'm on the move because your happiness is my priority. I'm as excited as you would be to see those destinations, and I want to pass the excitement to you. So I'm excited to show you those places. So for me, where I am right now is, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I think where I am, I've begun to become a voice in the Southeast, where you want to visit somewhere, you want to talk about tourism in the Southeast, you want to mention Tourbuddy. Oh, you've not talked to Tourbuddy. Oh, who did you now talk with, right? So it's come with a lot of work, right? I remember many times I get discouraged a lot, especially with social media work. Social media work is not easy, but that has helped me a lot. Apart from social media, personal interactions, which is one of the very important skills you need to have as a tour guide. Since we're talking about being a professional tour guide, you need to have personal interactions and relationships with people, right? Even after the tour has happened, sometimes you call them and check up on them, make sure they are good, even on the tour, while on the tour. So those interpersonal relationships make people give word of mouth referrals, which is even better than what they see online. So word of mouth referrals, I remember taking the MD of the Asaba airport, he's not a Nigerian, on a tour, and he was like, "This is good. I am going to get more expatriates for you to take on tours."
Whoa, that's
so
good.
Those kind of reviews are what you need.
Okay.
Do good tours, and people are going to refer you to other people. And once you keep doing good tours, of course there will be bad ones, but of course, manage it well. Everybody, you can't always win, but everybody seems happy, and then you move on. So,
are there trainings for this to become a professional in this? I mean, and what is it like? And are there other bodies and associations involved as well?
So there are a number of trainings that you can also find online. Yeah, there are trainings that NIHOTA organizes, Nigerian Institute of Hospitality and Tourism. Yeah, there are trainings that private individuals organizes, even Tour Nigeria, all the big associations, they organize trainings that you can enroll in and get trained, learn some of those important skills. You can also go on the other learning platforms and learn, get certified. Yeah, I've attended a number of training programs for tour guides.
Okay, quite interesting. Are you making money from this? Would you say you're making money right now? Is it rewarding financially?
I would say yes and no, because I am not where I want to be yet. So a lot of the money that comes in goes back into making one or two things work. I need to get a good phone to make good videos or make good pictures. I need to be on the internet. I need data. So all of those money goes into those things. I'm also a young man. I need to pay my rent. I need to travel more, because before I take someone anywhere, I need to visit the place. a number of times, not just once, right? And if it's been a long time I visited a place and someone wants to visit, I'll just say, hold on, I need to go there
to be sure,
and be sure it's safe.
It's still in a good state.
And it's good for you to visit. Then I'll say, okay, please come on.
So if someone has to go to Obudu, you would go to Obudu to go and assess?
For Obudu, I know because I've gone to Obudu over and over again. Okay. I was in Obudu last weekend. I'm going to Obudu this weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
I'll be in Obudu this weekend again.
Interesting.
I was in Obudu last weekend. So anyone who calls for Obudu, I don't need to go there. I could just place a call.
So people kind of demand for Obudu. That's what it seems, right?
Yeah.
They demand for Obudu because, okay, one of the questions I said I'll ask you, from all your tours, especially within Nigeria, what's your highest or the most remarkable place for you? And for people you've been taking there to, which one would you say?
It's going to be hard to choose right now, but maybe Obudu.
Okay.
Oh, maybe Delta.
They're all very unique, right?
I mean, it's hard to choose. From the few I've visited, I want to visit Bauchi. That's the one I can't wait. When I visit it, then I'll be sure. But for now, I think it's maybe Obudu.
Obudu doesn't even look like Nigeria, if you get
Actually, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't look like
Nigeria. So maybe Obudu or Enugu. Maybe Enugu.
Really?
Because a lot more people are beginning to. People call me a lot for Enugu. I have a tour this weekend in Enugu, so people call me a lot for Enugu because of the work I've been doing, because of the places I show. Once I make those videos and put, you're like, in this Enugu, I remember there was a trip I had, and the woman said she grew up in Enugu, and she was doing the trip because she never knew all those places existed in Enugu.
Ahom is one place I knew.
She mentioned Ahom in particular.
Doesn't look like Enugu.
When we got to her,
you would think it's
this
one
is my Enugu.
King Solomon Mines novel or adventure place. It's out of this world as well.
Yeah, so people don't rate the Southeast. So once they come here and they see all those things, they are amazed. I remember people that have come from Abuja and like, the closest place I can relate Enugu to is Abuja. This is where you see all the undulating hills and the beautiful views as you travel. It's not in any other part of the country. And that's a plus, right? So for me, I think it's Enugu because, I'm promoting Enugu.
All right. It's not for 2 months. I think it's also on the good side for that. But I would want to ask you, for someone who wants to tour this path, what would you advise the person?
For someone who wants to become a tour guide, one of the fastest ways I would recommend is to connect with someone who has been doing it. That's one practical way to learn and learn faster and avoid some of the mistakes the person made early enough. Because, if I had someone that held me by the hands, of course I had it, but imagine that someone else wants to start it and they come to you and they are open enough to tell you, oh please, I want to start this. I want to learn under you. I think that's one thing that is lacking. When people come under you, they don't say anything anymore. They say, I want to help you. And you wanting to help me is different. And then you're helping me, and 2 months later, I'm seeing you and I'm doing what I'm doing. It shows that it makes people feel like you are coming to steal from them. But if you say, oh, please, I want to become a tour guide, I want to learn under you, then I am going to be more open to show you, okay, this is what to do, this is how to do it. And whenever you start, I wish you the best. I recommend people to you because I have trained you, right? So when people do that, I expect that when you want to learn something, you come to someone who is doing it. That's one of the fastest ways, instead of, as I guess, just going to watch videos on YouTube and just starting off something. There are many mistakes you're going to avoid. There are things that I have done on trips, and those things were as a result of the experience I've had over the years. You won't learn that in a video that someone has posted online. You won't learn that in a prepared class, because those things are experienced on the tour as it's happening in the field. No matter how detailed the class is, there are things that will not be taught about in the class. So,
all right. We can go on and on this particular topic, but the show has got to come to an end. But just before we go, we have our book recommendation. We'll take our book recommendation now. And our book recommendation says Unstoppable. I could add Be Unstoppable. It's by Brian Tracy. And yes, this is one of the books you read that will help you learn how to achieve your goals really fast and even Things You Thought Were Impossible. Unstoppable by Brian Tracy. All right, back to you. Tourbuddy, Emmanuel Odama, thank you so much for all the insights that you have shared. What will be your final words, or let's say concluding words to our listeners right now? I mean, viewers.
To our viewers, I would say, enjoy your environment.
Enjoy your environment, okay?
Appreciate where you're coming from, because Nigeria is blessed. Africa is blessed. Most of the things you pay heavily to get and see abroad, they are here. Only they've not been harnessed. And if we all put our hands together, we can make our nation great. We can make our place very wonderful. When you travel to go and give those monies to them, you empower them to do more, and you avoid your own place and you complain that it's bad, right? Security is also a concern in the East. I would also want our government to look into that and make people feel safer. There are basic amenities like access roads to tourist destinations that helps people explore those destinations. Those access roads should be there. I must also commend the work the government is doing with the Commissioner for Transport. They're working on some of the tourist destinations and then making access roads. So I would say to our listeners, please explore your environment, explore your state, and promote it. We're the first to bash our states. We're the first to bash our country and say, no be Nigeria, that's how they used to do. Nothing happens there. There's nothing to see there. But there's a lot to see here. You haven't even seen half of it, right? So there's something to see, go see it. And when you see it, tell the world. Let them know. When they come here, they give us the money and we make our place better. And then tourism is one industry that empowers almost everyone. Anybody can become a tour guide. And when visitors come, the hotels enjoy, the travelers, the transporters enjoy, those who make food enjoy, those who sell artifacts, they enjoy. Like almost everyone can benefit from when visitors visit. So, I mean, it's
those who sell clothes, fashion,
exactly. They're going to go to the market.
Your stuff too as well.
It's enormous. So
wow. All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you, Tourbuddy. Thank you for all the work you've been doing to keep it up, right? Okay, and this is where we'll end on the show today. We've been talking about how to become a professional tour guide, and the person who took us through this journey was Emmanuel Odama, the founder of Tourbuddy. He's also a proud tour guide, and we've been in many experiences with him on his different travels right here on the show. But we've got to end. Catch us again next week, Tuesday, right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. On socials, we are at Afia TV Official. Catch us at Career and Training every Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. I am Ifoma Ajumobi saying, do have a beautiful day. And maybe, yes, you could catch up a tour with the next tour guide. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you.